Joel's our firstborn, and God bless us with Joel 15 years ago. He was actually a honeymoon baby. We were very, very happy, and because we both love children.
The doctor informed us, congratulations, you are going to have a boy. Yeah, and we were so happy. The next moment, he told us, oh, there's something wrong with the heart. So we went to consult a specialist, and that's when he told us that Joel would most probably die 6 months after he's born. And he also advised us to consider an abortion.
From Friday to Sunday, we were still toying the idea whether we should keep the baby or we should have the abortion. But when we were in church on Sunday, we heard a message from God when we heard the hymn Because He Lives, especially the part that says, how sweet to hold a newborn baby, to feel the pride and joy that He gives. So in the moment we heard that, it was this assurance from God, and for me particularly, because I'm carrying the baby. When I see shops selling baby clothes, I did not dare to go in and get my clothes. When I spoke to one colleague who's a believer, he said one thing that really impacted me, and that was, why don't you take that step of faith and go and get that first set of clothes, and even if Joel doesn't make it, at least he has a set of clothes to see the Lord. So I was so I decided to take that step of faith and bought my first set of clothes. Yeah. I'm okay. I can hold it. Yeah. So because he had a very serious heart condition, so the doctors did warn us that when he was born, he would probably be blue. It's amazing because when he was born, we could clearly hear his cries. His cries were really loud. He wasn't blue, he was very pink. He was just like a healthy baby.
He went for the operation. During the operation, there were some complications. The part where they performed the operation ruptured, so they had to stop his heart again and redo the operation. During this period, there was a loss of oxygen to Joel's brain, and he had to be resuscitated.
There was this period of time where he just kept crying from day to night, and stood in front of him, and I realized he couldn't see me. Nobody could explain why he was blind, but he just regained his vision.
We kept believing that God would see us through. Along the way, we have shared Joel's testimony, and each time we will say, we believe he can walk independently. One day, the miracle did happen.
It happened in school when he was 7 years old during one of his physio lessons. He suddenly could walk from one corner to the other corner, and I was just really crying because it took him 7 years for him to walk, and just to him it takes a lot of effort for him to just achieve that milestone. He's not critically ill actually, so for me to send him for a surgery when he's not critically ill, it's really even more painful.
Our CG leader, CJ, led a prayer for him over Zoom, praying for Joel and praying for the whole family.
So that early morning, the nurses actually had to clean him up, and it was very heartbreaking to see that he was just lying still. At that point of time, it was quite painful for me because it's as if like someone's preparing your son for death, So I had to step out, and I didn't want to cry in front of him. Before he was wheeled into the theatre for the recent surgery, he was looking at the DL worship service, just before he went in. So
I asked the doctor to play the video while I carried him to the operating table, and I just held him so tightly. They just injected him with the anesthesia, and suddenly he drifted to sleep. Yeah, I always step out of that operating theatre. There have been so many occasions already, right? The doctor had told us that he could die on the operating table, right? And so it was just complete surrender. 3-4 hours later, to our surprise, the surgeon messaged, "Oh, it's done already." We met with the surgeon. He told us that the operation went so smoothly, or they measured the area which was to receive the valve, and it was a perfect fit. Yeah, the surgery proceeded very smoothly with no complication. Joel recovered so fast. Within days, he was awake, and I still remember that was a weekend. His DLCG was meeting, and I asked whether he could join. They said, yeah, by all means, just dial in. And there he was attending his DLCG with all the tubes coming out of his head. So he was discharged within 1 week, even though the surgeons told us 2 weeks to recover in the hospital. 1 month later, when we did the routine scan, we were told that his heart function was back to 100%. And before he was severely underweight, he was 22 kilos, and now he has gained a total of 10 kilos.
Daddy brought you into the hospital, right? On the bed, isn't it? You scared? Why? Why are you not scared?
God.
Yes, because God is with you, isn't it? Right? Alright, Jesus is with you, isn't it? And now you feel good. Do you feel good now? Why? Because who heals you? Who makes you better?
Jesus heals me.
Jesus heals you. Great job. So just before his surgery, Pastor Evelyn came to our house, to pray for him. My mom, who really loves Joel, and she was very worried about him. So Pastor Evelyn prayed with her and assured her that that she doesn't have to worry because Joel would be protected by God. And praise the Lord, she actually received Christ. After he recovered, he started taking up activities. So the latest was the paracycling. It's just so nice to see him laughing and smiling and being so active after the operation, doing things that he could not do. Yeah, and I'm very thankful to Trinity. It means a lot to parents with special needs when you see your child being accepted and being in a place that he's so happy and comfortable in.
Through these 15 years, we have witnessed God's miracles in Joel's life. We do not know how long Joel's heart function will continue to hold, but because he lives, we can face tomorrow.